All right, guys. All right, everybody, welcome to Opportunity Meeting and Ambassador Training. I'm very excited, very excited. Faces too, y'all. Yay! Some of y'all don't get to see some of them. If y'all haven't figured out, some of it is Tony and both our downlines and our friends and our ambassadors and anybody that wanted to come to our class. So we open this meeting up to anybody that wants to learn more. I'm going to start off with some housekeeping rules, so y'all. You know that if you have cell phones, please mute them or silence them, please. If you get a phone call during this because somebody just wants Plexus right now, please step outside if you want to take the call. Ambassadors who have brought guests, you brought them here for a good training and a good opportunity meeting. If you want to discuss anything or do any kind of trainings or explanations, go ahead and say that at the end because you have plenty of time to do that. You really want to give them that one-on-one. So definitely, that way we can do the training and we can do the opportunity meeting and then you can talk with them later. So very first thing I want to do too is the group giveaways. For those of you on Facebook, when we do events, first let me introduce. This, y'all, is my sideline system. And I didn't understand what that meant. So she told me that for like a year. I'm like, I get it now. We met through Plexus. We actually joined right around the same time. We even became enrolled in the same month. And one of the things that I really liked about it is that we were trained the same way. She originally home in the area of where we would go and we would go to trainings, and I would see her this whole time. And what really blossomed for us is she brings me back to the focus of Plexus, and that's one of my number one advice for people is really get that sideline sister, whether it's someone you met with Plexus or someone you already knew. And for those of you who don't know me, Deborah McCutcheon, and we're ambassador.
We love each other so much, and it's really neat kind of way that we got together because everyone needs that running buddy. I never had it until we really got that connection and started going, and now it's like, I bring her up, she brings me up, we just connected and we have that bond, so we work really well together. And it is so helpful, so get out there and call you a sign since you don't have one.
That's the great joy about Plexus too, is you can do that because we don't have to all be on the same team, or we don't have to all be in the same downline because what supports each other supports each other. Did I get anyone? All right, so very next up, when we do events, on Facebook we do little group events. I think those are fabulous because they're a way to really corral everybody in and really promote. Eric Warre's number one thing, promote your events. We do posts within the group. I do trivia. We did Super Saturday together for those of y'all, if y'all remember. And I loved it. That probably is what kicked it off. We had a group going. Now, we went to Nashville. Didn't know a soul in Nashville. Not one soul. But we did an event and got all of the people that were coming. They posted. They answered trivia. It was exciting. Really pumped it up. And we gave away prizes. So that really set it off for us. So now when we do events together, even separately, I love to do it up on Facebook and invite and promote and get posts and really neat stuff in there because I really think that it helps with the involvement. So with that said, I ran a contest. Now, I love trivia, okay? And I'm the first one to tell you, all I do is go to the back office and pull the questions and answer it. That's really all it is. There's my secret. It's very simple to do, but it encourages not only the involvement, but training. Because it can be a learning and a teaching tool. So I definitely encourage that on Plexus Trivia stuff. We did that in the group, and the ones who commented were put into a drawing so that they could win a prize if they came to the meeting. How great is that? So we actually had one customer who actually was involved in the group, which we absolutely love, and we're going to give her a little giveaway. And it's Catherine Hoffman. Raise your hand, Catherine. Now, what I'm giving her is a wonderful little tape measure that one of our lovely ambassadors who's sitting way up there, Melissa, she does a great job with these. She actually did this for our team. Great body tape measures. And the number one thing a customer should do before they start their product, y'all. I want credit for everything. We thank you for your participation in the group. The remaining 3 people that we had, Tony, you've got those names. Margaret. Bring me on.
Yeah.
Looks like girls not getting food.
Margaret, you're an ambassador that commented in the group event, and we're going to give you the air before you go pro. Now, these, if you want the Bible of network marketing, go pro.
Okay.
Now I'm going to flash my Google Hangout people over back and Yeah. You know what I told them? Team. Incentive. Go over trainings with it. So we have plenty of uses for these, and I can tell you about our GoPro. I could probably, if you look at my book, it's got all those little tabs, highlights, and everything. Because the thing that it says hits you on one day, maybe you do it on the other. When you read it, maybe don't just read it or watch it once. There you go.
Can you hear me? Mona?
Thumbs up.
Yes, ma'am. You can hear me. Okay? I just had to mute the computer. That's fine. We just want to make sure that it's safe.
And we have one more, is that that extra?
That's it. Okay. Yes.
All right. So, those of you here, of course, I recognize a bunch of faces, and I know that ambassadors, you know these products work, right? Ambassadors work. But I'm sure we also have some who are customers here for the first time who may want to know a little bit more, right? Raise your hand if you're a customer here. Yay, thank you. Welcome. All right. Opportunity meetings are about you. Just, stand up and then you sit down. Let's do that. But we are going to recognize the importance of this is how you share Plexus. This is how we discuss it. You're not going to find Plexus on the shelf at Walmart. You're not going to find us ambassadors on these ads, papers, and advertisements. But what you're going to find is passionate ambassadors sharing the products, passionate ambassadors sharing testimonies of the stories. So that's really what we're going to do tonight. We've got a completely new format. Ambassadors have all been to our meetings, both Tony and ours. We're doing a completely new format, so bear with us. We're also doing a Google Hangout, bear with us as well. And so what we're going to do is talk about the importance of our products and talk about the opportunity that it entails for you. Okay? So we're going to start with the products here. And one of the things too, I just wanted to mention, why are we doing this way? Because you're going to notice this is much more simpler. Those that have been in my meetings, I know.
Okay, what happened to what I'm hearing now? That one alone. Yes. Look at decals. Yay! Awesome.
Mona, can you hear anything? Mona, can you hear anything?
Whoa. Pero, para.
On the website, you earn a commission on their qualified purchase too.
And with number 7, you earn another 5% override commission on top of the retail sales and product to any ambassador you personally enroll.
Once you achieve the level of Emerald Ambassador, you qualify for number 8. And that's to share the Emerald Pool bonus, which is 3% of all the company's commission payouts divided among the qualifying Emeralds. You also qualify for the Flexus Lexus program, and it's a drive for new Lexus.
A new Lexus, vroom, vroom. Next there is number 9, the Sapphire Bonus Pool, which is like a single pool that is 1% of all the company's commission payout, divided among the Sapphires over and above their Emerald Pool bonus.
At the top of the list is number 10, the Diamond Pool bonus. For those who achieve status of Diamond or highest achievement, this is another 1% bonus pool of all the company's commission payout. Divided among the Diamonds who qualify. On top of their Emerald and Sapphire bonus pool bonuses.
And then to make it even more exciting, for everyone who achieves the rank of Diamond, they are given number 11, which is another brand new position in their name, placed on the first level, essentially doubling themselves, and giving them an opportunity to build a nice organization under themselves that pays all the commissions and bonuses as if they were their own personally sponsored ambassador. This unique opportunity allows you to dramatically increase your income.
In this overview, Flexus Whole Life Compound, Alec and I have shown you all the various ways you can be financially rewarded as a Flexus ambassador. The architecture of this plan is the difference Flexus offers. That difference is the core of what has been missing in other markets. We're confident it's what you've been looking for. It's designed to help keep your ambassador downline and build in place and stand the test of time. We wanted to have a company that's known for removing behind that expectation and will give you the opportunity to a lifetime that you can really enjoy.
How can we do that? You know? Hopefully you have some really good questions for us. And that's one thing about this presentation versus our old school presentation where we give you a lot more information. You're not going to get a lot more information, but we're going to directly answer any questions that you may have. And I would like to make sure that we get any guest questions answered first. Any guests? Have questions concerning the products, the compensation plan, or anything that you heard here tonight?
And what brought you here tonight? What appealed to you about Flexus that brought you here? Other than the red Indian business. What appealed to you? The money! Woo! Love that. Good. You know, the thing that I like to talk about when I talk about the compensation plan is, and probably Tony can attest, and some other ambassadors as well, when I first joined, I didn't fully understand exactly what it was, but the more that I grew and the more that I started being like compensated for preferred customers, for instance, talk about that, I understood about it. So the compensation plan rocks. Am I right? It rocks. And it's great the way that you can understand it as you go along. So that's very encouraging. Customers, any other questions? Anything that you're wondering, perhaps about our products or the opportunity? Woo! We're excited for you.
Tasted the Lexus. What do you think about it? Great. Even with her salad, she loved it.
When I started talking, she quit.
She just wants to know how to make some money, that's all. And there's lots of opportunity. There's lots of opportunity. I got into this business for, just show those of you that don't know me, but. Okay, so I got in for other reasons, because I needed to move away and, not focused on making money. As a matter of fact, I've never sold anything in my life. And I'll never, when my niece talked to me about that, leaving out, and I put my hand up in her face now. I'm not selling anything, I've never sold it, but it really just sells itself. You know, you just have to let people know what it's doing for you, what it's doing for others, and people want to feel good. You know, people want to be healthy. That's important. People need what we have to offer, and we need more people out there sharing what we have to offer. We don't have enough. No matter how many people and how overpopulated you think the area is with Plexus ambassadors, there's not enough. There's never going to be enough because we all know different people. So, with that being said,
Facebook, yeah, I'll be there.
okay, there it is. There it is. Fabulous.
And tell us where your after picture was taken.
That is at Eric Waray's Go Pro Recruiting Master event in Vegas last year. And I can tell you, I'll go into more of that. I don't know, or our guest's going to say for our ambassador training as well. I know you're stuck here. So, yellow. Okay, yes, you are. Why not? It's pretty. It's not. We're not gonna pinch your toes or nothing. I'm gonna go a little bit more into that and what I got from him when I went to that GoPro Recruiting Mastery. And has anyone read his book or listened to the CD or studies him or follows him or is an Eric Worre guru like I am? He's awesome. And he really changed my mindset. And this was just last year that this happened with me, as far as growing the business opportunity that we have. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of slide. If no one else has questions, and for you ambassadors, this is something that is very simple and duplicatable, what we just done. So I was speaking to Deborah's sister, but I don't remember your name. I'm sorry. Dana. Okay, Dana. And we have, Dana mentioned that we haven't been having meetings here in this area. So perhaps, with this easy presentation and not having to feel like you have to know everything about every product that we have to offer, this is easy. This is something that some of the ambassadors here in this area, we need to get these things going in all areas. Very simple, very clean presentation of the products. Play the quick video, introduction video, testimonies, compensation video, bam, you're done. Answer questions, and that's important to make sure you fill in that question and answer session because you want to make sure that any guests that you have here in the room get their questions answered because they may have particular questions that wasn't discussed or, and even if you have questions that you don't want to ask out loud, me or Deborah would be more than happy to answer your questions directly after we're done. You're just going to have to say we're finished.
Yeah, and one of the things I found is when I was watching the video, maybe one little clip of that was talking about, pain relief or something. You might think, okay, wait, Aunt Susan, you've got pain and she really could use this. Sometimes it may not be something that, you think, well, I don't need that because I don't have pain. I don't have neuropathy. I don't have that sensation. But you might know someone who does. So that's the frame of mind that we really want to share with you. Is it may not be about you. It may not be just you. It may be someone that you know and love that can share this product. So don't necessarily think, well, I'm only going to do one of these products, or I'm going to just do some, because you're going to be very, very surprised at how beneficial our support products are. Multivitamin. Needs a multivitamin. Everybody needs a multivitamin. Protein shakes, meals on the go. Who doesn't? How many of y'all have those today, by the way? Chocolate, vanilla, chocolate. Love it. It's easy standalone products. So that's one of the things that we really want to encourage you, ambassadors and even customers. If you were looking at perhaps just the slim and talking about that, we have 12 products here. We have 12 different things that can benefit you or someone that you know.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started with, does everybody have pen and paper, pen and paper? You might want to take notes because we're going to go over some good information that you're going to want to jot down. Get your pen and paper handy, people on Google. If you don't have pen and paper, you can write that box. Oh, that's good.
Now, ambassadors, as y'all are doing that, let me just make a little announcement too. In both of our respective downline groups, we posted this Google link. So if you have people that are interested in it, they should be seeing that link and they can join us. I know, well, Tony and I, how long did you get here? How long? 50? Guess what? It took me an hour and 15 minutes to get here. And I live that's straight over from Central. So, what are the points being? You can't necessarily join a meeting in person because we're so excited that y'all have. Yeah, this is in your backyard, so there you go, right? Nothing is ever in Gonzales' backyard, right? But we found that you can do it online. You can do it online with our Google Hangouts. You can do it on our opportunity calls that are going on right now. I think that we have a great opportunity call that's been recorded. And probably even within your team calls, because I know you do a lot of those too. So there really is no reason for you to not get your Plexus dose one way or another, right? Right? All right. So we're going to get started with our training for ambassadors. When Tony and I joined, we didn't know, we didn't have brochures, we didn't have this, we didn't have any of this. So we really were taught, to me, what I call the old school way. The way to really develop relationships with people, share the products with them, share how great they are, share what they've done for you and your grandma and your Auntie Sue, and share that with other people and really serve these people and so that they can actually try the products and get success. That's how we were taught. Now, fast forward 3 years later, now I know when I joined, maybe 2 ambassadors or so, maybe 1,200, maybe 1,200. 200,000 ambassadors across the country as of today. Well, as of last time they reported. So we've really grown in the last 3 years. One of the great things about Plexus is you can work your business the way you want to. You can work your business the way that you want to. As long as you remain compliant, follow the guidelines, you're pretty much, just making enough money to pay for your own. How many got started just making enough money to pay for your own? So did I. I have a big old Italian family, and I said, well, okay, I'm just going to, sell to my family and my friends. And then that just grew and grew and grew. So your why coming in here to begin with makes sense. But the number one thing I want you to do is you do remember your why. Whether you're just joining us or if you've been with us for quite some time, because sometimes that does change. But when we started, we really didn't have this neat little roadmap of trainings and things. We just all met every once in a while and talked about it. But we did develop the importance of that meeting, the meeting that you can attend, the training that you can attend. That's why we do this. How many of these is the very first training you've been to? Now, I will tell you this, everyone does differently, and that's certainly respected. Everyone has their own different business mode. What we're going to give you tonight is what we feel has worked for us and that we'd love for you to carry on. But just take what you can from it, develop what you have on your own, and you can service that with your team. Because I know a lot of you have your team and do love training as well. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is getting started. Okay? What does a new ambassador do? Because you know what I did when I first started? I didn't do anything. I didn't know what anything was. I didn't know any website and all this stuff. But I've now since learned that when I have a sign up that joins my team, I do these steps because it gives them direction. And it doesn't necessarily put them all in one category, like you're going to be a business owner, or you're going to run this as a business. But it does give us the basics there. So it really can apply to any type of ambassador that joins our team. When you join for $34.95, get a website. Okay, don't y'all love that website? It is amazing. I find that the more I look at it, the more things I've learned. Now, when I say visit your website when you first join, I'm not talking about logging in. I'm not talking about going in your back office. Go to your main website. Pretend you're ordering a product, looking at those tabs, looking at the labels of each tab, the products, where they fall. So that, for instance, Phyllis, if your customer says, hey, Phyllis, I'm on your website, and I really don't know what this screen means or this screen means, how are you going to know what she's talking about? If you automatically go to your back office and log in and start doing all your stuff there, you want to see what your customer sees. Okay, very important. Check out the Q&A section for each of the products, because chances are the very questions that your customers have are there. Okay? Yes, we have a whole variety of people with different needs that come to Plexus, but the majority of questions are the same. And I found out when people join, they do have the same questions. So that's where that Q&A section at the bottom is developed for each of the products. Now, the next thing to do is go log into your back office. Log in and explore around. Look at everything there is. There's a tab that just goes straight all the way. What you going to do? You're not going to go up the computer, right? A lot of people are so scared to click on something and do something. That's okay. Go in, look at everything in there. Set up your auto qualification. When you join Plexus, there's an automatic selection that you can make, and you can go back in when you log in and personalize it. Maybe that's what you want to get every month. Maybe you want to get the Slim and the X Factor and combinations of products that's not already preset. Go in there and set your auto qualification. Okay? Set that up, because you know what setting up an auto qualification means? It means Plexus give you my check. That's what it means. If you do not have your auto qualification on, if you do not have it on, you will not get paid. That is a fact. Last month on my check, if you look at it, you saw 7 people woke up and I got paid on them because they did not have their auto qualification on. Now, did I text them every day from the 20th to the 30th? Yes, I did. I said, turn it on. You're going to get paid. So you must have your backup order on. Does that mean you're going to get it in the mask, or does that mean you're going to get your backup order off if it's on? Not necessarily. So keep that in mind. A lot of people, they really get hung up on that auto qualification part. That's the thing that's going to get them. That's the easiest part of this business. When you join as an ambassador, you're basically making that commitment with these Plexus. Say, I'm going to do at least $100, whether it's my product or it might be my customers that I've already got lined up at the door waiting on me to sign up so I can deliver products. So think of that. That $100 minimum is guaranteed Plexus that you know what, I'm going to do that as an ambassador, because that's why I'm an ambassador. Okay? If you look at the reports and if you look at the resources, yeah, every time I go to the resources, there's something new in there. There's something new that they offer the resources. It is amazing. You go under each product, each question. Again, ambassadors, customers are asking you the same question, but the answers are there. I get a lot of posts in my group about products. All I go do is go look in my resources and cut and paste and put it in the group. There's no secret, y'all. I'm not a big guru about Plexus. I simply know the places to go to find the answers. And that's what I try to teach my team. Be self-resourceful. You know, you're going to have questions when you're new, and that's fine. We want you to ask the questions. But we also want you to go look for the answers where they're right there. That's what they're there for. There's 18 success tips. There's testimonials. I think the opportunity calls are now under our YouTube channel, and no longer in the back office because there were so many of them. Everything. When I told you this June 2011, it was already about 100 calls, right? Since the very beginning, our opportunity calls. So that is on our YouTube channel. My Plexus Builder. How many of y'all know what that is in your back office? How many of you use it? Right? The great thing about Plexus is you do what you wish with what you have. Okay? Do you have to be a network marketing guru and know exactly how to do all those things and all that? No, you don't. The great thing about the MyPlexus Builder when you first go in is it gives you a startup tutorial. It walks you through the basics of your back office so that you can learn things. Now, one thing that I'm learning, here it is 3 years later, I'm really starting to utilize it, is the one-click email. I love that thing. I love it, love it, love it. I have control over sending these to my customers. Before I even came here this evening, I actually sent out 90-something emails to my inactive customers on something that a template I created, put my customer's information in there, it's already in your back office because they ordered from you, and then send them all an email. Okay? That's a way for you to keep in touch with your customers. What's really, this is the neatest part about them. You know, some people, well, I can just send an email to them, right? But when you use your MyPlexus Builder with the contacts and send out emails from there, when they click your link in that email, you get a notification. Someone visited your site. You know, that's the neatest part about MyPlexus Builder. Plus, it looks all kind of neat. It has great graphics and stuff on there. So, if you're thinking, well, I don't want to send that to people, I don't want to bother them. Well, you know what? Do like I did. I set up my sister's account, and I played with it, let her be a customer, I let her see them, and I have to be able to see what they look like. So, get acclimated, get comfortable with them, so that you can see what they look like, and you see what your customers are getting. Some of us use it for way more than that. There is drip campaigns where you can actually send it on regular intervals. There are, gosh, anybody using more? Give me some suggestions. Anybody doing more with the MyPlexus Builder?
Like a daily post, your Facebook or Twitter, whatever.
Perfect. Perfect. You can actually have it do the work for you. That's the point. You have yours on? Anybody have lead capture on?
I did. I'm mixed emotions about it. So I turn it on, I turn it off. I had mine on
Lead
for a
capture?
while, but
You do?
yeah, I just turned it off. I kind of tested it for a month.
And?
I thought it was cool. I mean,
It's a very cool feature.
And people that I didn't know were watching me that have never liked anything, never nothing, and now I pay more attention to them when they're on Facebook, and I, comment on their stuff and like their stuff more, so.
Great idea. Great idea. Again, it's an option. That's the part that I like about it, is that you're not forced into this rigid, this is the way I gotta share my Plexus, this is how I gotta have my lead capture on, and I gotta have this. You don't. You can do it at your own pace. It took me 3 years to figure out what to put email, y'all, okay, I'm not changing I love it though, I really do. I will take contacts and dump them in and just send those emails out. Downline, whenever you join, I used to send an email, a welcome email with some of the top 10 tips that I'm going to talk about on here. Because I really want them to feel grounded. I want them to feel like they have source and some direction. It's really kind of neat to get some emails too from your upline. So that's some of the things in My Places Builder, but again, don't be afraid. There's a tutorial that pops up right when you first start, so that's something that can guide you through that. The next thing is on your tools, the tools that you can use. Catalogs. We have our catalogs. We have our new catalogs that have come out. Now, every business has catalogs, right? We were so stinking excited when these came out. They were just wonderful. So you may not know exactly how to explain what the BioCleanse is. Read this. That's all I got to do. Okay? It is. These are amazing. We love them. We love them. I love these as a sales tool because they'll talk about the different points of pay. They have these 11 ways. They are amazing. They're available on your promotional tools in your back office. That's a $25, right? Yeah, these are wonderful tools for you. And this is something, like I said, that you can give that's really validating to your customer. You know, Tony and I kind of made our own little flyers and they were so cheesy, but what else we're going to use? Now we have these really great things, so definitely check them out. Brochures, there's brochures in your back office. Keep in mind, ambassadors, I get a lot of questions in my group about, well, I found some brochures, but where's the nerve health? Where's the new children's vitamins brochures? That's under soundconcepts.com, or it's in your MyPlexus Builder that has the link to soundconcepts.com. That's a very good thing that I get asked a lot, is where to find all these brochures. MyPlexus Builder is run by Sound Concepts, the rest is Plexus and corporate office. Okay? The next thing you can do, these conference calls that are going on, I think right now, every Wednesday night. We have our Plexus Opportunity Call. I know they're changing up a bit, pre-recorded. This is the first week with that. I am told, and it was even, that's why I put it in my group that I posted, that there was going to be a phenomenal testimony on the call tonight that would leave no doubt as to how good our products work. Now, that sounds amazing. I haven't heard the call yet, I don't know what was said, but guess what, I'm going to listen to it way home. So pop that in and listen to it all the way home. So that's something that's great, because if you are a new person and you really want to listen more about products and about that, that's almost like a real opportunity. Opportunity calls, the first 10 minutes of product knowledge. You want to learn how to explain our products in 10 minutes? Listen to an opportunity call. It's condensed down in the first 10 minutes of every single call, every single Wednesday night. Okay? You know, perhaps someone that suffers, and Susie Q suffers from, one of these issues, or medical issues, and there's someone on that call giving a testimony on what it's done for them and how it's changed their life. Wouldn't you want to share that with Susie Q? Wouldn't you want them to hear how great this is done? It's very validating. I can tell you that when, I'm diabetic, and I know I can relate a lot with the sugar issue. When you hear other people's stories with the same issues, it's very validating. It's very validating that there are other people out there just like me, and they found relief. Okay? So that's something that I really like to push, is that you really want to share those testimonies. These calls are great. We do it privacy, whenever they want to dial, they can listen. So some of the other things that we have, how many of you got that welcome pack whenever you join Plexus? What's that neat little thing in there that came in the products? What do we call it? Star Guide. We call it the Success Guide. We call it the Starter Guide. We call it all those goodies that come with all your products. Pull out your Success Guide and read it. Did you know that there is a 24-hour testimonial call guideline number? Did y'all know that? Hey customer, are you interested in more information? Dial in this number. You can get some of the selections. Okay? Did you know the fax number for a corporate office? Their hours, their address. Okay? Did you know any of that? Don't scan. That's the first few pages of your Success Guide. And then of course it grows into all of the things that you can do and how you can share your products. Even because it has to do the scripts for it on the page. So it is a really great thing. Your Success Guide is very helpful in how you can share your business, share your products, and learn more about your company. Okay? It's also available if you haven't purchased a welcome pack. You can log into your back office and purchase the Success Guide as an item in the promotion. Okay. Want to leave it off anything? A lot more to talk about.
We do have the Successful magazine. That's also being used as a
I don't think I want that one. Yeah. And guess who's in it?
It's all right.
It's Tony. So if you do have a chance to look at your Success Women magazine, make sure you check out that picture of that lady that's on the front screen.
Page 32.
Page 32. Now, let me tell y'all about this. They did a poll, and they asked some of us leaders, who are the most impressive leaders that you have on the team that maybe have made such a big difference in what they've done, what have really great stories. So they nominated a lot of people. Sarah Marvel's one of our finalists. Okay, this is just for instance, we love her. We love her. So one thing about Tony that I really like, and she is featured in here, is that she was one that really had that. These are all diamonds that are here, except for Tony. Tony's not in. Tony had such a great story to share that she was nominated from our complete list of leaders, which are over 600. Right? So I encourage you to check out her success. All right, so we're going to turn over some of the next things that Tony's going to talk about, some of the great things to do whenever you get started.
So, how many of you have ever heard in any training that you've ever been to the Power of Three? Familiar with the Power of Three, and know what it is, and know just how powerful it can be. So this is something else that's important enough to be on our new ambassadors. What do we need to hand our new ambassadors in getting started? That's something that needs to be there. That's direction for them and giving them, okay, you know, making all this money and becoming an emerald and making, you know, all these things that you hear of Texas leaders being able to do sounds great, but that's just more than the normal person can just think. You know, there's no way, and that's a lot of times, you know, people just shut their minds down to, there's no way I can go and do that. But it's simple as making sure that they understand the power of three and simplification, how that can become what they eventually want to be long term. It's not going to happen overnight, but the power of three gives you a guide to start with. 3 people. You know, that's your first goal. So you don't have to go in and create this big, huge army. All you need to do as a new ambassador coming in to get your business up and going is go find your first 3 people. Becoming sober, that's it. That's your first goal. So, the power of 3, and this is something that I now give. This is actually the packet that we're training from. And this is something that I give to all my brand new ambassadors now, the level 3 worksheet, which is here. All this information that we're going over tonight, even this, I think it is, and if not, then I'll make sure that I get it somehow. But the Power of 3 worksheet, this is something that needs to be put into the hands or emailed or messaged somehow to every new ambassador you have. This is some direction for them, okay. And you go and get the first week. And then the most important part of that is helping each one of those to get their first. And then helping each one of those 3 get their first. And duplicating all the way down. So that's the power of 3. And once you really can understand how simple that is, but the key to that is duplication, as soon as you can grasp that, the better off you will be with simplifying your business quickly. The perfect 10. How many of you are familiar with the perfect 10 plan? This is something that was, I think we've always worked the perfect 10, just never had a name for it. And this is something also that is something that needs to be, it's kind of a plan of action. Plan your work and work your plan is what they tell us to do. But most ambassadors coming in, and I know that I was one, in the beginning, I was not a good leader at all. I didn't know what in the world I needed to be doing. I had no idea. I've never done anything like this before. So me as a leader in the beginning was tough. I have an ambassador to vouch for that because she joined over a year ago, probably 2 years ago, when I was nice and fresh and new, and I just wasn't a good enough leader for many of my people to be able to be motivated to give them what they need, good leadership. So Renee is just now more recently getting more active with her flexible business and doing pretty well when I had. But you know, leadership, even though you have been an ambassador, whether you're a brand new ambassador or you're been with us for a while, and just not finding yourself getting where you want to be, this is probably a good plan for you as well. I always have my Power of 3 sheet that I'm working, and I always am working on my participant plan. I actually most days try to work it in a day, because I work my Plexus business full time now. So, but this is actually a weekly plan of action for a new ambassador getting started. It's through new ambassador direction, something to do. If they sign up, like Deborah said, sign up, drinking your Plexus, you know what else? That's all they do, because that's all they know to do. They get signed up and they start taking their products, and then that's it. Because they have no direction, they don't know what to do, especially if they've never been into this before. Plan of action is, so the perfect 10 is simply this: sharing the product with 3 new people a week. Sharing the business opportunity with 3 new people a week, that's 6. Then 1 is attend a Plexus event. 1 Plexus event a week. So this would count as your 1 Plexus event a week. Whether you have a local meeting, and if you don't have access to a local meeting, the Wednesday night calls counts as an event as well. So you have access also to a lot of conference calls or online, not online, but trainings. So there's trainings, full trainings that a lot of our leaders in Texas now have opened their calls up to anyone. So we have access to training calls at 5 nights a week. Sunday nights are normal. Monday night, there's lots of them on Monday night. Tuesday nights, I know, there's a couple more on Tuesday nights as well. Wednesday night we have the opportunity call, and then Thursday nights there's some more. There's some out there Thursday. I know Deborah has a Thursday. I know she's but
I just started recording, y'all. We're really big.
Okay, so we have access to training. So attend the training event every week. You know, whether it's a live opportunity meeting or a call type training. A lot of times we offer the Google Hangouts as well. You can tune into a meeting right from home. A lot of times in my group, if I'm off, like next week, I'll be off doing different meetings from home in Texas. Every day of the week I have a meeting schedule. So I'll probably offer some of those where I have Wi-Fi access. I'll offer those in the Google Hangouts to my group to attend. Because I just think it helps you as an ambassador to learn more. You know, knowledge is power, but it also just helps you stay connected. It helps you give you motivation to kind of stay connected with the group and constantly learn new things that we can pass on. And then finally, the last 3 to add to that 10 is share your skills with 3 team members. So if you're a brand new ambassador, of course, you don't have 3 team members, so you're going to work with perfect 7. But I always encourage, and this is something that I want to make it my own perfect 10, or maybe I want to make it a perfect 13, but I want to add follow-up there. Because follow-up is really, really, really important. That's probably the most important thing that you're going to do in your business is do your follow-up with your customers, as well as make sure you're doing your follow-up with your ambassadors, team members, is making sure that you're doing what you can to help them to grow, because we're not going to get every one of you in our own. So I also have this neat little perfect 10 worksheet, where as you talk to someone about the business, you would mark it up. So I would be more than happy. I'm pretty sure that Plexus1.com, if you want to write that down, that's Sheila's website. I'm trying to mention it. But Plexus1.com.
Plexus and the number 1.
Plexus, the number 1.com is Sheila Medina's website. And I'm pretty sure that that's where I grabbed all this from. And if you don't find it there, and if you're looking for it, I'll make sure that Deborah has access to all this. And if you don't, you want to just come to me directly, find me on Facebook. Or,
we can have it at individual files, so that's a worksheet itself.
There you go. So everybody in here is in Deborah's group or in my group? Yes. So we all have access to it. So, also, this is something else that I hand to my new ambassadors. And I say new ambassadors because I think that if you hand your new ambassadors this little packet right here, it's direction. Something that they have that they know that this is what I need to do. Got there and do. So it's very important because I think this is really powerful. How many of you have seen this? It breaks down the how you can earn a big substantial income with showing you that if you sponsor 3 people in your level 1, that are worth 5 pay points apiece, that's 15 points. But if we were teaching and training those 3 to go out and sponsor their 3, that's going to be 9 on your level 2 that are still worth 5 points apiece. That's 45 points. And if we're teaching and training those 9 to do the same, it's 27 on your level 3 that are still worth 5 pay points apiece. So just in that same 3, duplicating all the way down to level 7, which is where we get paid, you would end up with 4,893 pay points. How many people would you like have 4,893? So an average of $3. I mean, that's a nice little paycheck. But reality is, where you're going to start is so and teaching and training. That is the whole key, guys. Teaching and training your people, which is going to. Okay, so the next we have is I make sure that my new ambassadors have access to. This is going to change so now because I have them the information to the Plexus weekly opportunity call, and we're no longer going to have a call-in number. But we are going to have a call-in number, but it's not going to be. You have to be at your phone at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night now. It's going to be a pre-recorded call that we can listen to at our computer. Really, really nice to speak to. So I need to change that number on here.
And we have a deep class today.
Yeah, and they're also on Plexus Facebook page as well, probably in Facebook, the YouTube page. So we have access to those everywhere. Something else that I want to do with you guys is as you all have probably, any of you that frequency groups that are really interested in building your business have probably seen a shift of the way that we're building our business here lately. And that's because, here again, we've learned the hard way. When we came in, we thought that building our team and doing it fast was the best way to go. Well, we quickly found out that that's not the way that we want to build our business. It's not good for our ambassadors as a whole, for many different reasons. So what we are now teaching and training our teams is we're wanting to qualify people. We have many ambassadors. How many of you have a whole, when you look at your back office, and you look at your calendar report, you see a lot of those like me too, I'm there with you. I feel your pain, and I want to cry. But that, some of it is going to continue to happen, but a lot of it is probably professionalism. So that's something that we're really, really trying to focus on at this point, building our businesses and trying to make the most money that we can in practice. Because in doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to increase the value of the paper. And you may not run through the ranks quite as fast, but you'll be making the same amount of money. Because if we get everyone working on the same page here, and building the value of the paper, guys, and you're not going to have to go away. Kill yourself and try to build this big, huge team to make the money that your goal is making. So what I want to do with you is show you how we now, in the easiest way that I have found, to qualify an ambassador. Have any of you ever seen this? No. Okay, so something what I do now is when I have a new person, a new prospect to question me about Plexus, or I have someone that's interested, most of the time, my number one option is always to set up a one-on-one, whether it's in person, coffee shop, lunch date, whatever, or online. I also use Google Hangout. Google Hangout is so much fun because you can, it's kind of like a Skype, but you can have more than one people. I actually help many of my people that are in different towns. For some of you that have people that are kind of scattered here and about, set up Google Hangout. You can have a few people. I've actually done launch parties through Google Hangout with my people that are in other states and cities. So that what they do is they, sometimes I set up a presentation table. Sometimes I don't. Just depends on the amount of people that we're going to have. Sometimes it's going to be more personal and it's just going to be a conversation. But I think building that personal relationship with your people, even a lot of people that were, you know, if we're doing networking, a lot of people you meet, you may not know on that personal basis. So I think it's really important to get to know your people on a personal level. Just like you can go and have coffee and dinner and lunch with your local ambassadors, you should be able to sit down and spend a little time with your ambassadors that are away. And so doing the launch parties like that has been really, really good for our team. And a lot of them have, it's helped them to get their business going as well. But, and so this is something that I teach them to make sure that we're qualifying ambassadors. And someone approached me and they say that they're interested in the business or not, I don't know, but they're interested in the product. So I'm going to meet with them and we're going to sit down and we're going to have a coffee date or whatever. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this catalog. This catalog, guys, is probably the best that Texas could have ever given us. Other than the food now, they're going to take us a lot of time with presentations. But these catalogs are awesome. So I'm going to, depending on what this person, you know, if they're on pain, I may start with the pain products and kind of just type of the other. But depending on what their goal is, what their target is, whether it's a pain product, you will know where to start with the products and then kind of harp on that one a little bit and then briefly touch on the rest just to kind of let them know. And then, so I'm going to go over each product and give them a little bit more information about what I know that they're going to use. And, okay, Susie, so which products are you most interested in? Probably I already know, because I know what I'm talking to her for. And she's going to tell me, so if it's the Slim and the Boost combo, let's say, so we're going to go with Slim and Soda combo. Susie wants to start with the Slim and Soda combo. So we're going to go back to that. And I'm going to tell a little bit more information. Around answering the question that she has. So then, which price is more, are you more interested in? And what's Susie going to say? The cheapest one. So then what I'm going to say is, well, let me see if you qualify. How many times you go to a car dealership, if they say that, you're like, shh. You always want to qualify. You go somewhere and you want something so bad, but you just want to qualify for it. So then, at that point, Susie's wanting to qualify for this cheapest price. So the way that I'm going to qualify Susie is, well, Susie, let me see if you qualify. In order to qualify to get it at the cheapest price, what you have to do is you have to be willing to talk to the people about it. You have to be willing to share. Oh no, I don't think. I think I just want to take it from me. Okay, well then what you qualify for is a preferred customer. Save money, and that's kind of the way that I qualify my people. If they're not ready to get out there and talk about businesses yet, then that's a good preferred customer. And I don't know if you guys have done the math and figured out the difference in what you're going to make on a preferred customer versus what you're going to make on an inactive ambassador, but it's pretty simple. A bag of Slim and an accelerator from a preferred customer, you're making almost $42. If you're working your business and getting 500 MPD. If you're not getting 500 MPD, what is it? 31.50. $31.50 or $42 roughly. Okay, that's on a preferred customer. Find the Slim and Soda from your website. If that same person was to join, and this is all they're interested in, and that's probably all they're going to buy, and that $80 at the end of the month in their PV sucks because it's not worth anything to you or anyone else, and it's actually driving the pay points down because if that was a customer ordering from you, then that would be boosting the pay points. So be sure that you're qualifying your ambassadors before signing them up. If Susie has a whole bunch of family members that's sick and she wants to go get them started right away, or she's interested in the business, then maybe she might qualify. But she really has to be interested in getting out there and talking to people and understanding that she needs to get over $100 in personal volume, and she needs to be interested in working the business, because even if she's just ordering her for $100, really, that's more beneficial to me as a preferred customer. And as well, on her after her third month, after ordering Preferred for 3 months, they get their products. This is as an ambassador. And I'm sure a lot of you know that as well. So if we're really doing an injustice to just sign them up just because they think that they want it. So make sure that you're encouraging Preferred customers, unless it's someone that's ready to go out and build a business. Okay? Business builders is what we want on our teams. So, go ahead. Want to have good information? I just lost my whole thing. So, develop the skills to be successful. Go pro by category. That's something else that every single one of my new ambassadors gets. And I'm going to tell y'all just a quick story about going to the Go Pro Recruit Master event, Eric Warry's event in Vegas in November. I went last year, and I'm already going this year. But something that event done for me was I was never a network marketer. I didn't know what it meant. Even in the beginning of my business, I didn't really know what it was. But that kind of unfolded that for me. That event made me realize that just like we have products that are changing lives, I was never comfortable with talking to people about the business opportunity because I just felt like I just wasn't comfortable with it. I felt like I would be, what are they going to think about me? You know, if I'm trying to make extra money with it. But what we need to realize is that people need it. And we're doing an injustice by not letting them know that we have an opportunity for them to make that practice. And, you know, Charlene Tommy mentions this a lot. $200 a month can be the difference in someone having to foreclose on their home. So how easy is it to make $200 a month with Plexus? Pretty darn easy. So be sure that, and I had to put that in my mind frame, just like Plexus is helping people kind of with their health. You know, people are getting health testimonies with the Plexus. It's also changing people's lives with the financial opportunity because it changes life. And I would have never imagined myself where I am now. You know, it was always living paycheck to paycheck, robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I was a single mom. And that's tough. I have 4 kids. And, you know, I'm not anymore, but because I remarried, but that's tough being a parent, or even just being a 2-family, you know, and maybe a mom that has to just work her tail off. And it's hard to go and work 3 jobs or 2 jobs and have to go home and still visit the family. So that's the people that you want to talk to about, hey, let me show you how you can make some extra money, because long term they can get to be the person that's, you know, that if they get passionate, but the passion's still alive in the product, no matter what, no matter how much professional network marketer you are. I think you have to have a passion for the product to be able to deliver and to be able to feel like you need to feel to get out there and do what needs to be done. So, does anybody have questions regarding any of the information that we covered? If not, we have some more information to cover. But I want to make sure, it's important to make sure that we get your questions answered. So I'm just going to go over a few more tips, and then I have Mr. Shag Harris has got some information for you. Yeah. Okay.
The YouTube video that we shared. Yes, that's what's on the website.
Yes.
Share people. Yes.
So Mr. Shag Harris, I don't know how many of you know who Mr. Shag Harris is, but he is a friend of mine that I met through Plexus. And he actually is who I have always, from day one, ordered my business cards with, has a print company. And he has this awesome website set up just for Plexus people, and I'll let him tell you all about it.
Hi everyone, as Tony just mentioned, my name is Shag Harris. I have a company called Plexus Print. A little hard to remember, obviously. But I did set it up, and I met Tony online. I lived in Atlanta, and I eventually moved here to Prairieville. So I just live right down the road. and actually had the opportunity to meet Tony actually in person about just about a year ago, just before I moved here. So actually just a year ago. And then, when we were doing testimonials a while ago, I was like, should I or should I not give my really unique testimonial for everybody? Because I heard a lot about diabetes management, diabetes, coming off diabetic medication and stuff like that. Well, my testimonial is for somebody that, or for something that can't actually speak English. But if everybody can see this little picture here, this is my little kitty cat, Cheese. He's my $3,000 cat. Okay? I did say $3,000. About 6 years ago, he had urinary tract infection. So we had to put him on certain type of medication to cover urinary tract problems. So it's called dry cat food, and unfortunately the dry cat food causes what? Causes diabetes in animals. If you only feed them dry food is what our cat food. So about 4 months ago, we took him to the vet. He weighed about 22 pounds, but he had lost down to almost 10, just over 10. What's going on? My wife Karen started looking up what's going on. How come he's losing all this weight? Found out that he's got diabetes. They wanted to start giving him insulin. We said, I looked at Karen and I said, we've done it once, we're never doing it again for our previous cat. Oh, 4 months later, he's still going strong. He's off his diabetic food medication gave for him. So he's doing really well on Plexus Slim as a cat. So, the big question is, I was actually texting my wife earlier, and I'm like, oh my God, the reason he can't gain weight is because he's taking Plexus Slim. Right? So people wonder, why is he not gaining any weight? Oh, he's taking Plexus. Wow, really? Kind of an amazing concept, right? So we were actually going, I think we need to give him another can every day. Just some of his weight back. But it's really a remarkable product where, again, we are experiencing very positive things with our cat just after 4 months. How long will it last? You know what? The vet said it probably has 30 years. So we've gotten 90 extra days out of our cat and it's still going. So we're pretty excited. If it gives us another 30 days, you know what? Guess what? That's 120 days longer than what's a decade. We're pretty excited. One of the things that I do for the Plexus Ambassadors, I'm at just over 8,500 ambassadors and 3,500 printing business cards for. So that may not sound like a lot, but that's actually a lot. Start breaking that down by the month. So I have about 47 active templates on my website for just business cards. Tony, do you have one of your cards? Okay, so that's one of my templates. We can do a lot of before and after pictures. If that's what I want to do. I'm getting ready to hopefully by the end of this week, I've got 9 new templates that I'll have out there. I also have worked on, I've got the tabletop banners as well, along with the full-size Texas River Light logo. Banners as well for you. I'll have tear-off sheets, so some people like to do tear-off sheets. Now. I have those on my website. We have list cards or postcards, whatever you want to call them. That actually has the measurements silhouette on there, so if somebody wants to put that on the back and hand those out with list cards, they have those things. I say we to make myself sound really big. Unfortunately, it's just me. It's a one-man show. So, got labels, so if you have products that you want to put on your brochures, put your information on them. I've got some custom design labels for folks.
There's something else. Let me tell you this. Anytime that you order cards, brochures from like Squirrel Eye or the catalogs or anything, you want to make sure that you take what Shag is offering, or something and personalize. Put your information, put your name, your phone number, and your website, and unless something sticky, and cover their information up. Because we've actually gotten ambassadors on our team from Baldwin Incorporated, and this was a long time ago, and they used to do that kind of anymore. But it's really important to cover up their information, because if you leave it somewhere, they'll pick up that card and just call the corporate office. They're not going to call you.
So those are on the website under labels, coins, coins are 40, 80, again. I've got some cards over here for everybody watching, when that gets over. Never thank you for letting me come and be a part of your meeting for the first time. We've never met, so actually the only person I know in the room is. So I do want to do as a thank you, and thank you for everyone here for giving us a few minutes. I want to do a giveaway for your ambassadors.
Okay, and then we're gonna do, as Tony's talking a little more, unless Tony wanna do that, when you bring all of that, to the 6 wrong.
You want like a drawing type thing?
Yeah, however you want to do it. Whoever gets the drawing, we're going to do a little different. They'll look just like Tony. Tony kind of does a little bit different than what's on my normal website. Kind of.
I actually chose just to have the URL on the back of mine, you can choose.
All of the products, you'll see when you visit the website, there's a lot of different with all of the product images on some of the cards and things like that. If it's something that you want to kind of customize, just let me know. Shoot me an email, give me a call. It's pretty simple that way. The cards that I'm going to do the giveaway on, I do. By the way, it's $40 for 1,000 business cards with a two-sided fold. So is that valid now, or oh my gosh, that's expensive. But it'll be just like, actually, just like my cards. Yeah, those are.
All right, customers, while she's doing that for his drawing, let me do one little drawing while she's doing that. I have 4 tickets here for our fabulous customers who joined us. And I've got some gifts for you. So the very first one, customers, you got one of these when you came in, right? Customers. The number I'm thinking 521501. For customers that are here, we have 4. 501. That's you. This is also something that I gave this morning, earlier. This is our tape measure and the actual measurement sheet. All right, second one, 521 500. Or go ahead, 500. 500. Give up on no Plexus bag. All right. 521502. That is it. And 521503. Is our last one? Good. Well, what do you know? All 4 of our customers want something. All right. Now we're going to do our ambassador drawing. Tony, I'll let you do that. For his special gift that he was offering. Or I'll let him do that.
551.
Okay, Eric, a brand new ambassador too. Wonderful.
And what the cards that I'm doing for the giveaway will be with rounded corners and everything. The rounded corners are extra, I believe it's like extra $50 on the website. But those are all included, so you'll get cards just like Tony's or mine. Okay. So that's,
She is a brand new ambassador, and that's one of the number one things we talk about in doing that. I'm going to get you the top 10 things stored in your business cards. Hello, make that easy for her. Good. Yay.
just see me after we're done, and I'll get your name and everything, and then we'll, at a later time or this week, whenever you're ready to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Shack.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me be a part of it.
I have a question. Your car magnet?
I do.
Like the car?
I do. I'm sorry, car magnets are included. You have those too. They're $59. All my website, everything includes taxes. There's no hidden fees. There's no upselling. It's place an order for one thing. That's all you're going to get. But you can search around and find everything. I don't want to bog you down. Oh, yes, for a set. That's not each magnet. That's for 2 magnets. 12 by 18. Sorry.
No, I'm just,
Yeah, no, that's.
I'm just going to
Yeah, how
make
do you
sure.
have
I don't want to
that
say,
cars
but
already?
I don't know what I do.
I have the nice big big obnoxious ones like I do. I never got a phone call. Hey, I'm gonna look over to your right. Yeah, as you're going down the interstate. Right.
Car magnets were, as a matter of fact, the last meeting that I had, Thibodeau, I was inside doing my setup and stuff, and there was a lady, she kept looking at me. I looked at her, and I was like, maybe, I know her from somewhere, but she went outside and she called. No, she didn't call me, she came back in. She said, you come to Flexus? Okay. So, but she went outside and she saw a magnet on my car, because I was having new car magnets there. So, car magnets work.
And I'll tell them about it like at night when we're going through Baltimore, and everybody is flagging us down, going, you got a car? I was just one of the girls forgot to walk at Walmart, and I was,
Well, that's in Mississippi. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, those car magnets work. They work.
they did everything but lay down in front of the car, so you
Yeah, lots of fun. That's a very good investment to hedge it out. So, we have a few more giveaways that we're going to, for ambassadors. 42. 482. Now shoot, get on up there and come take yourself again. Come on, get you something, girl. Come on. Just take whatever you want off the table. We'll save her. Okay. That's fine. You never know what's happening. 484. She's telling me she's something you don't know. I'm like, take it. 484. Okay. And, 553. Come on, Miss Sarah. Come on down.
Go.
480.
Deborah just walked in front of her.
Okay, let's give some prizes to our online folks.
Yes.
We have
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Nora, Kim, and Andrea.
Stephanie, give us 4 tickets.
What?
And we'll issue 1 for them. We'll let Stephanie take care of that one, the need for those. She can write the name on the back. 555.
And how about one more? In the room, and then we're going to draw for one online.
That's when Deborah walked in front.
Yeah. We have Mona, Lenora, Kim, and Andrea.
Wait, what?
Did I call 479?
Do you want it?
So for our online ambassadors that are joining us from other places, let's see. have y'all a little drawing too. We'll pick you a prize from the prize table. What? Lenora. You know Lenora? Lenora. Lenora, you are the winner. So we'll, Deborah? Lenora?
All right,
Lenora, we're gonna, I'm gonna need you to message me, Lenora, so we can get you your prize, okay? I'm not sure, but we're glad to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. Our Google Hangout people, thank y'all so much for joining us. Good night. We're done.
All right, how many of y'all have gotten Google Hangouts? Have y'all had it uploaded?